In this video, I'm going to discuss the differences between the model years of the E55 AMG, which model year of the E55 is the best to buy, and what has changed over the years. These are questions that I often get asked. This video is going to answer them. Generally, newer is better, but there is more detail than just that. This video is focusing on the North American market, but most of these changes are worldwide. We'll start with the changes from 2003 to 2004. 2003 cars have no command screen, only the small audio LCD screen in the center stack. The only 2003 cars in North America with the command screen are the Presidential Edition cars. Otherwise, 2004 and on got the command screen. Models outside of North America could get the command for 2003 as an optional extra. 2003 cars don't have the factory aux input in the glove box for connecting audio. 2004 and onwards did get that aux input. The 2003 cars had a faulty radiator, which led to cross-contamination of coolant and transmission fluid and potential damage to the transmission. This was corrected for 2004 onwards. 2004 onwards cars also got an additional engine oil cooler. On 2003 cars, the paddles on the back of the steering wheel don't do anything unless you are in the M transmission mode. In 2004 and onwards, the paddles work in any transmission mode. The rear end on the 2003 E55, as well as very early 04s, are different than the later cars. They used half shafts bolted to flanges at the differential in a 10-bolt gear pattern. After October 31st, 2003 build, Mercedes switched to larger, single-piece drive shafts with no flanges and a 12-bolt gear pattern. Now we will discuss the differences that came along for 2005 and 2006 compared to 2004. Most of these are improvements and benefits. For 2005, in markets with imperial measures, such as the US, the gauge cluster was changed from 160 miles an hour to 200 miles an hour to better suit the car's capabilities. The 160 mile an hour gauge in the 03 and 04 were rumored to be because AMG wanted to avoid liability issues in the US if people delimited their E55s to higher speeds. Delimited, these cars can do over 200 miles an hour. For markets with metric measures, the clusters for every model year were always 320 kilometers an hour. Also, for 2005 and up, the lines just below the 7,000 RPM mark on the tachometer are red as opposed to black in the older cars. 2005 and up cars received a faster steering rack that was shared with the new CLS 55 at the time. The newer rack requires less steering input to turn the car the same amount. 2005 on also got suspension tweaks taken from the CLS. Later 2005 cars switched to having a sliding center console instead of the clamshell one in the older models. Some early 2005s still have the clamshell console. The sliding center console hides more cup holders. There were other interior changes for 05-06, including different climate vents and extra trim along the center stack. The seat bottoms were also changed. Some late 05 as well as 06 cars got factory aluminum pedals, although this is a common aftermarket addition for the older cars. Around 2005, the supercharger unit was improved, indicated by the 580 at the end of the part number compared to the 280 number on the old unit. The newer unit is able to produce more boost due to different gearing. According to KP on MB World, who disassembled both superchargers, the newer 580 unit has a better gear ratio accounting to a 4.65% faster rotation, producing more boost. Some very late 2004s have this better supercharger, so it's best to just look out for that part number. Late 05 as well as 06 cars have a slightly smoother supercharger clutch engagement from the factory. 05 and 06 cars have a small spare tire in the trunk, as opposed to the older cars, which just had a tire repair kit and the battery put in the center. Some late 04s have the spare tire as well. For 05-06, they added an additional plastic cover under the hood, right above the fuse box. There were some color changes, such as brilliant silver changing to iridium silver for 05 and 06, but nothing major overall. Additionally, the E55 wagon was added for 2005/2006 in North America. Other markets could get the E55 wagon in late 2004. Some of the negatives of 05-06 cars compared to 03-04 cars include the fact that for late 2005 as well as 2006, the transmission control unit was changed. Owners of later cars report not being able to brake stand the car and spin the tires without the car bogging down. Generally, these later cars are less forgiving with spinning the tires. For the later cars, you have to put the car into dyno mode to do a full burnout. Early 2005 still retain this old TCU. With that being said, many owners of the later cars have swapped the older TCU into their 05-06 cars. Since a lot of E55s go drag racing, it's something to consider. For the later 05-06 cars, some options were dropped, such as the solar panel roof, which powered interior fans on a hot day. Other options such as active headlights were also dropped. The 0506 cars do not have the extra charcoal cabin filters in the dashboard. They only have the basic filter under the hood. They also removed fresh air control and the AC rest feature on the center vents for 0506. I hope this video helps to inform you when choosing an E55. Generally, the 0506 cars are the best outside of a few small things. Some do go for the late 04 models because they are a great overall car and have the most possible options available. Finally, 2003s are still great cars because they represent a great value. Thanks for watching, and if you like videos like this, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos.